What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Trending Brief Experience. Today I noticed something very interesting on the news of an African tribe supposedly inhabiting a very private part of some Scottish woodlands. Now, there were some videos I saw on TikTok a few weeks ago, but it's only now surfaced on, well, Sky News. I'm very much intrigued to know what their deal is. All I understand so far, but hopefully we'll understand a bit more. From my current understanding, though, it would seem that some Donny has decided to set up camp and reclaim some homeland that belonged to apparently his tribe 400 years ago in Scotland. And it would also appear that some other of his followers are not exactly people he grew up with, have come from other places. It is my understanding that one of them actually was pronounced missing in America and has turned up here. Now, if they've come of their own free will, let's just hope that's somewhat better. It is up to my understanding, though, that they were actually evicted from one part of the woodlands by the Scottish Council and by the landowner. However, then it would seem that they, well, Britain being Britain, they pretty much just got up and went to another part of the woodlands. But let us find out on this morning's Sky News. As I saw it, we'll watch the same one. African tribe camping in Scottish woods stays put council's eviction deadline. Let's give it a watch and let's see what they're all about.
A self-styled African tribe who are camping in the woodlands in the Scottish borders are refusing to leave despite an eviction notice from the local council. They've been calling themselves the Kingdom of Kabala and have set up
It's always Kabala.
the town of Jedburgh. The deadline for them to move from the site is...
If you don't know, Kabbalah is actually known as a few other things. It's also a type of ancient magic that some of the Jewish people also learned, I do know this, from ancient Egypt.
In the rather chilly
And then you've got that Kerbala, which is like a place in Iraq. So it's always something with a car. It's always starting with a car. Who knows? Maybe there's something evil about the word car. I don't know. Not that Kerbala in Iraq is evil, but people always had stigma until I read a few books. I found it very interesting. Let's continue.
In the town of Jedburgh, where a self-proclaimed African tribe are here, they are saying...
Do you think this guy was told last moment to go to some woods and without being told what the deal is?
From their ancestors 400 years ago, and they have set up camp. They have set up life here by all intents and purposes. You see the tents where the three members of this community have been living, and they call themselves the King, the Queen, and the Handmaiden. Three members of this community, and it has become somewhat of a spectacle here in Scotland over the past few months. Clearly, this is a very unusual sight anywhere, but certainly here in this small town of the Scottish borders has proved quite controversial. Let's get a sense as to why the so-called tribe are here. Let's speak to the man calling himself the King of the Kingdom of Kabbalah. Morning, thanks for your time on Sky News. What is the reason for you being here, sir?
The prophecy must be fulfilled. The reclaim of the land which belongs to our forefathers. I am the King of
They've got a pretty
Kabbalah.
decent setup. Can't refuse that.
The lost tribe and the lost land for my ancestors.
You're on land, though, that does not belong to you. It belongs to Scottish Borders Council. They want you out.
The land and the earth belongs to the creator of the heavens and the earth. No one
Big up the king.
belongs to the earth apart from the kingdom of Kabbalah.
He's living life.
Skies, the earth is for the kingdom of Kabbalah, and we have come to stay.
Hello, madam. You know, the council are saying that this cannot continue. You need to
Prophecy must be fulfilled.
And this is not
Okay, do you think he rehearsed that, or do you think he really just came out of the spot? This brother looks like someone who has seen a few films, and he's really rehearsed some lines. But you know what? We won't be rude. Let's let the gentleman speak, the king.
No one should be able to tell us to leave this land which belongs to our forefathers. We are the true Jacobites. We are the Highlanders.
The law says, though, that you must leave.
The Creator is who we listen to. There is no man-made law which is bigger than the Creator of the heavens and the earth. His laws is our precepts and what we walk with.
So you are planning to stay here for the foreseeable future. You won't be leaving, is that right?
Our tribes are coming. The rest of the people are coming from all the four corners of the earth, from Trinidad and Tobago, from Jamaica, from Suriname, and they are coming back to their own land. This is the land of the people, not for Edomites. This is the land for black people, and they are coming back home.
Let me just speak to the lady here. You are calling yourself the handmaiden in this camp. What does that mean? What's your role, and why are you here?
Jacobites.
And my role is to do all the housework, most of the housework. Obviously, we all put in every area. But if the chores aren't done, if the tent isn't clean, if the camp, if everything is not where it needs to be, I am held responsible in the kingdom, in the palace. If everything is not tidy, if everything is not where the queen wants it to be, then I am responsible for training the maids and the handmaids.
Is that something of, coercion? Are you here of your own free will?
Definitely, 100%. This is my calling. This is my purpose. This is what I was created to do. So yes.
So clearly that is the situation here in the so-called...
Well, there's no one else there, though, so train other maids. There's only 3 people shown so far.
This has been something of a journey. Just across the fence here is where this self-proclaimed African tribe had been living on private land. And through the legal wranglings, the legal process here in Scotland, eviction notices were sent and they were delivered, they were acted on. And essentially, the folk that you've just been seeing and hearing from switched across the fence onto this territory, which is the property of the local council. And we've been getting some reaction from the authority in the past few minutes.
Well, we're obviously very relieved yesterday to get the news that we had been granted the eviction order.
Scott Hamilton.
We're looking to execute that in an appropriate manner. I think we have to be aware of what happened last time, where they moved simply to another piece of land. So we're obviously looking at this in a much more coordinated effort. They are clever and they know what they're doing.
So certainly the next steps from the council's perspective here in Jedburgh.
I mean, that king's just chilling with his bell.
See behind me from this land. The question is, where will they go next? Will this continue? Will the people head to neighbouring lands?
And he's not stopping either.
Understands that conversations are being held with landowners surrounding here to try and prevent that from happening.
We'll play it.
Right, well, that was the end of that. So, I guess when they arrived, it was quite warm. But I wonder how well they will survive when it gets cool in October, November, January time. Assuming they're still there. So, according to Scott Hamilton, there is a court order, but again, they want to make sure they don't move anywhere else in the forests. I don't know if they're going to be able to physically move them. That's kind of frowned upon in the UK for the most part. Of course, I don't know how the Scottish really play, to be honest, in their own councils. So, is a Yoruba? Never heard of it as far as I'm aware. Claim it was part of their land 400 years ago before they were displaced. But then obviously there's people coming from all 4 corners, he claims, from China, Sudan, Jamaica, somewhere else. You got the handmaiden that apparently is responsible for the other maids, but there only seems to be 3 people there from my understanding, having observed the video. That's fun, you got political diaspora, you got international warfare diaspora, you got obviously Putin doing his business. And you know what, let's just add a new king making his own kingdom in Scotland, why not? See how long he gets on for it, see how long he lasts. Just with his magical bell, and maybe he would do a stick. Maybe everyone else would just give up on what's going on in the UK, because everything's so expensive anyway. Let's all just move to his kingdom on private land. Who knows? If I had a bit more flexibility, I'd actually would probably go and film and speak to the guy. He seems a relatively interesting chap. At least he, to be fair, had a good conversation. Yeah, so I'm going to confirm if that is the missing American woman. She seems relatively well. That guy's got a bit of a stomach on him. He clearly is obviously eating. I don't think he's got a problem being scarce for food. I don't know how they're getting their food. Maybe that's another conversation. But that is the end of that. Thank you very much for watching and watching this with me. Let me know if you've got any questions down below. Leave your feedback, leave a like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to follow my TikTok channel, Trending Brief.
Models popping bottles.